Yes, guys. Right. Okay. So, why do 99% of actors fail? It seems a bit negative, that doesn't it? And I should have put it the other way around. I should have put, look, why do the 1% of actors succeed? All right. That's the important bit. And that's the bit that I actually teach. Now, I'm just going to wait and get myself an audience. So, if you come on, say hello. It'd be great to hear from you. All right. You'll get a shout out. Addison, how are you? I'm going to shout out the people I know at the minute. Terry, but it'd be good to get to know quite a few of you, particularly because I've got lots and lots of new followers, and it'd be great to get to know you. So say hello if you are on. Hi, says Kamakshi. Hi, Addison, how are you? So I'm going live across Instagram. I'm going live across Facebook. I'm going live across YouTube. X. David Rogers gives me a yes, yes, yes. How are we doing? Wow. Okay. Hello, says Vuka. Oh, some of these names. Vukoviksara. Shashan Kved. Treehouse Fairy. That was easy. George Cooper, how are you? Charlie Morgan. Okay, it's so good to have you all along. It really, really is, genuinely. And I'm going to make sure I deliver as much value as I can, all right, to repay you for joining me. And what I'd like to do as well is create like a space where you can add as much as you want. And I'm not going to ignore you. I'm not going to not read out what you put. This is a space for you to add to this conversation. I want to really, really make sure that you feel able to do that. Okay. So this all comes down to the fact, guys, that statistically, 99% of actors either drop out or don't make a full-time living from this industry. Okay. So that begs the question, why? But as well as that, as well as begging the question why, it's got to also give you the information and the fuel in order to become part of the 1%. Does that make sense? All right. So first comment, Rogers, I am hemmed in, but acting is now about 30% of my income. So it's all going in the right direction. Looking forward to when I can spare the time to get back into classes. David, we always miss you. Okay. But you've learned, I hope, okay, I was about to take full responsibility for that, but I hope over the years that you have taken note of all of the things that we kind of talk about with regards to the 1% and mentality and the 99% mentality. So I'm going to be totally honest. I'm going to say hi to I am Al Sami, okay, and Alice 2305 from Italy. Thank you so much for joining us. So the 1% and the 99% for me, it's a mindset. Okay, it's a differing mindset. And the problem is if you think about it, if you imagine that you've got 99 people over here and one person over there, then that one person is doing something that those 99 other people aren't doing. Now, the problem is because 99 people are doing something, that makes you feel like, as an actor, that everybody is doing it. And what do you feel like you need to do when everybody's doing something within this industry? You feel like you need to do it. Okay? You feel like you need to do it. But the point is actually what the 1% do is they let the 99% get on with that, and they do something else. They think in a different way. They operate in a different way. And this is something that I've spent a lot of time studying over the years. What the 1% do, what the actors that make a full-time living from this industry do. And believe me, it's very, very, very different. Okay. And I'm just going to go through some of them. Now, I mentor actors. And when I mentor actors, one of the main things that I do is I genuinely mentor them to get a 1% mindset. Think totally different, all right, from every other actor. And there's one there. Emmanuel Ali says, hey, how are you, Emmanuel? Natalia says, should I live in one of the big markets to make it like LA, London, New York? There we go, Natalia. That is a 99% notion, attitude. Okay, all right. The point is actually it's a mindset, and it's about understanding what the 1% think like and act and operate like. Okay, so number one, the 1% for me, and this is from what I've seen over the years, act and operate like a business. The second that you become an actor, if you could just imagine that you are an acting business, you are just a product as much as Coca-Cola. You're a product as much as an Apple iPhone. And if you just literally from day one, just get your head down and learn marketing techniques and learn how to get yourself in front of as many opportunities as possible, you will go a long way towards making a full-time living from this industry. As well as that, there's a huge common misconception in this industry, and and basically this is the route that all actors see. So they do some training, they get an agent, and then you get the part of James Bond or Superwoman, and that's it, you're made. Well, actually, it statistically, or it really isn't going to work like that. And what most actors do is they see that route and that path. And one of the main reasons why they don't make a full-time living, or they, in the end, the reason why they don't make a full-time living from this industry, or they drop out, is because that one path is really a very rare path. It doesn't actually happen that way. So it's actually a really, it's a path that's not going to serve you and your career. Really, what you need to do is when you become an acting business is really look at what we call peripheral acting jobs alongside having an agent and being put forward. Now, if you have a different mentality where it's like, look, I want to make a full-time living from being an actor, right? Then you can literally now make a full-time living from being an actor. There is more than one type of acting job, but you have to really spread your understanding of what it is that are acting jobs. Now, the problem is the type of actor that sees one path and sits around by the phone and maybe 2-3 months later gets one audition. And then they go up alongside somebody who has peripheral acting jobs, doing all sorts of different acting jobs. And that person is seasoned and is just constantly performing and doing it. And this person has been resting by the phone for about a month. Who's going to have a better energy around or an assurity around their performances? The one that's doing peripheral acting jobs. So this is what the 99% of actors do, and then get frustrated, sit around by the phone. What's happening? Why am I not getting work? All right. So it's just having a different attitude. As well as that, 99% of actors do certain things, and it's certain mistakes that I just see time and time again. Headshots, for one. Headshots where they literally are just trying to get the most glamorous headshot. That's what 99% of actors do. They don't realize it's a business tool. It actually has nothing to do with how glamorous you look, unlike Instagram or something like that. It's actually about selling particular personality traits about yourself. So again, the 99% of actors just pick headshots based upon, you know, how they want to feel about themselves, when it's not about that. It's about literally having a totally different idea of your marketing package, having a different idea about your show reel, which scenes to pick. All of these decisions, you need to really come down to go, how am I going to make a different decision from the other 99% of actors, a better decision, or just even a different decision. Because if you want to be the type of actor that gets certain roles and is trusted for certain roles, you really, really want to come away from the 99% of actors. You want to go into the 1%, and that will get you known quicker because you're making different decisions, better decisions. And two, you kind of come away from the crowd. You come away from all the, really, I'll be honest with you, poor decisions that I see 99 out of 100 actors making constantly on a daily basis. You know, things like when I see actors that, on social media putting up a headshot going, what type of roles can I play? And I just think that's so unprofessional, so unprofessional. You should know it. You're a marketing expert because you're a business. Okay. Thomas Thompson says, stop saying 99% of actors. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to actually, and like I said, I'm opening this up. I'd like you to comment on why I shouldn't. All right. So, Roger says, currently I'm doing screen, voiceover, medical role play, immersive theatre. There's so much more, and it's constant work, and it's all lifting the tides of your success. I love that. And really, that's, for me, you are operating what is at the minute a relatively successful acting business, and it's fantastic. It really, really is. Okay. Also, Emmanuel asks a question. Do you think that part of the reason why 97% of actors fail is due to institutions such as universities or formal training acting schools not giving them the right resources they need to succeed? That's an interesting question. I do think that universities and training organizations really do need to be transient and in keeping with what is going on currently with the industry. Okay. And I think that so many universities are still teaching classical acting when the majority of the work out there is progressive. TV, film, even on the West End, a lot of it's progressive. And I do think you're absolutely right. I don't think a lot of facilities are teaching about business, mindset, and other things that really come together to make for a successful actor. Okay. Let's have a look at some more comments. I love it. Okay. I was struggling earlier wanting to be like other actors around me. Okay. So I'm guessing you're saying that you're trying to do it a different way. Nepotism, that's a word that's coming up quite a lot at the minute, and basically this is, again, and I'm going to annoy people, but for me, words like nepotism and excuses and looking and going, well, that's just because of this, that's just because of that, is a 99% excuse, where for me, the 1% that wouldn't even come into their consciousness. It's like, look, for me, I think that success comes when you put yourself in the way of opportunities enough. And I think that there's certain things and ways that you can make sure that success is non-negotiable, that genuinely, okay? And I think that kind of words like nepotism and this industry is tough. In my organization, I promise you, we don't say that the industry is tough. I would never say it, and I will never say it. Because think about it. To be an actor is a top job, right? So just imagine that, right? To be an actor is a top job, right? So what I'd like you to imagine is that you go from being an actor to another industry, and you want one of the top jobs, right? The odds would be a lot more than 1 in 100. So when I heard from when I was really young, when I heard 1 in 100, I didn't think that that's tough. Or I thought, well, that's 1 in 100 people. Brilliant. Okay. And this is kind of my final point on this. Okay. this is kind of my final point on this. Mindset is probably the biggest aspect of it. Okay? Who hears those odds and thinks that's quite good odds? 1 in 100 to make it, to have a full-time living from this industry, to genuinely do something I love every day. Odds are 1 in 100. I like those odds. Or who thinks that sounds tough, hard? It's the toughest industry in the world. It's tougher than any other industry. And that's just a mindset. Now, I'm going to let you into the final secret that I teach the actors that I work with. All right. And I've had a few come on here and kind of demonstrate this actually in person on the comments. But the final thing I'm going to say is abundance. If you genuinely have an abundance mindset, your brain will tune itself to see a lot more opportunities than it will if you have a scarcity mindset. Okay? So if you have a scarcity mindset and you literally think this industry is scarce, you hardly any jobs out there, you can't get work, then that will just happen to you because that's what your brain's telling you. It's called, what's it called? It's a part of your brain basically that effectively looks for what you tell it you want to look for. So if you have a scarcity mindset, the 99% where you say, look, it's a tough industry, there's no work, then that's what you will find. But when you change your mindset to say, look, this industry is abundant, there's work for actors everywhere. By the way, it's everywhere. Work for actors is everywhere. I promise. Okay, and you can clip that, all right, and you can literally quote me. It's everywhere. And if you have an abundance mindset and you look for peripheral acting jobs, work everywhere, don't just rely on your agent. You literally ensure that you are looking for work in every nook and cranny, you will find it. And I teach my actors how to do that. Okay, now it's tough. But if you genuinely have an abundance mindset, that's what your mind will seek. And that's the type that it will see opportunities everywhere. And it's just a mindset. And it's tough. And I know, but that's the key. Now, let me go through some of these comments, okay? Really quickly, because, I've been quite controversial, but I'm just getting you to see exactly how I think and how my actors think in a very different way. All right. Let's have a look. Nepotism. That was the last one. Say 98% then. Love it. I will do 98%. Which, to be fair, it kind of is. All right. 98, 99%. That's fair enough. It's all about how you look. Talent doesn't come into when it should. Okay. Here's a secret. You said about talent. Here's a little secret for you. When a load of actors get invited for an audition, do you want to know the truth? They can all act. So it's about something else. Okay. Talent, yes, you can act. Brilliant. But the talent can be applied to so many things. Have you got talent for marketing yourself? Have you got talent for having a really strong mindset, abundant mindset? Talent comes into so many different avenues. Okay. Wow. Immersive theatre is available for all actors pretty much all the time. Exactly. It's the only industry that forces job seekers to pay to look for jobs. That's wrong. Now, my biggest bugbear, and I'm going to get so many people just literally probably leave. My bugbear is people say moaning about Spotlight in the UK and having to pay for it. Right. Try being a plumber and having to literally put your business on various sites so that they get found. And in the end, they don't get paid as much as actors. So the risk and reward is much worse. An electrician, You've got a little electrician business. When you set up a business, guess what? You have to invest in a few things to get that business going. All right. If you have an acting business, yes, you might have to put yourself on spotlight. But by the way, compared with costs and investment costs of other businesses to get them started, however much it is, a couple of £100 or whatever much it is, based on, and comparing it to other businesses, I'm sorry, it's not very much. And like I say, the 99% mindset would be, how dare they charge us? The 1% would see themselves as a business and go, actually, a couple of £100 to get, as an investment in a business that could make millions. Not a big investment. In fact, it's a very, very good investment, right? I didn't even see the comments after I've just said that, but I truly believe that. All right. So do you see how 99% actors think they're very different to the 1%? Okay. I like it. Like a challenge, I like manifesting our success. It's a double-edged sword. On one hand, we push and promote ourselves, and flip side is desperation. Is unattractive. It certainly is. Well, I've never thought of it this way. Abundance mindset. Okay, so basically I'm 16 and there is this actor, Ariana Greenblatt, that's the same age as me. She's never been in multiple high-profile projects, and I never thought she was that good. All right, so that's somebody in specifically. It isn't Grant Thompson. Oh dear, I don't want everybody to agree with me. I don't. It's not about that. Okay, I am just genuinely, I'm kind of 3 decades in now to this industry, 25 years into acting coaching, 24 years into acting coaching. This is just literally the years of those experiencing and me sharing that. Okay, but you don't have to agree. She's a grandchild of multiple Tony winner, right? Okay, 98% is Kelly. Love that. Would you say it's mostly about having connections or no? You should always have connections. That's something you should always work on. I used to say the same sort of thing, and I did think it sounded difficult and unlikely. My opinion is different now because I've been able to develop through yourself and others. Work to be done. Love that, mate. Well done. Absolutely. All the time in the world doesn't matter if you don't know how to market yourself and connect yourself in the industry. Very, very true. What about Star Now on Mandy website? Do you think they're good to start with? Yeah, of course they are. Anything that puts you in the way of opportunities. That's all you want to do. It's a numbers game. As many opportunities as possible. Speculate to accumulate, but it's constant money, equity, spotlight, backstage every month, new headshots, equipment. Actors have to constantly pay. There's no initial outlay. It's all the time. Do you know what, mate? Nikki, sorry. You're right. But then again, I will say it again, you outlay some things, but you should be getting that money back in. You're an acting business. What's the point of paying out all that stuff if you're not going to get the money back in? Look on my feed at something I created called peripheral acting jobs, which is jobs that you should be doing right now constantly as an actor, getting the money back in. You should be earning a lot more money than you lay out on any of those things. Don't just sit around and wait for your agent to earn money from being an actor now. Don't just pay out all that money and not earn money. That's not running a business. Why would you pay out things? Because basically that is you running in the red. No business runs in the red. You're an acting business. So get out and sell yourself and act. You could literally, this is what frustrates me about actors, okay? You could literally ring any company up and say, look, I'm an actor and I can create content for all you. Have you got a sales force? I will work and I will, be a pretend customer. I will do role play. You can earn money now and you should, okay? Genuinely, okay? Grant Thompson, love this, okay? I'm going to say 99% again, okay? I'm guessing. Hi, Matt. Where are you based? Are your classes online or in person? They are both. They're online, okay? And we've got clients from all over the world. We've got some northern classes: York, Halifax, Bradford, Leeds. We've got a London class, which is on next Saturday. So feel free to get in touch, and you can have a free trial. And anybody watching this, okay, who's not sick of me saying 99%, you can literally have a free trial on me. Okay, cool. If actors are wanting work for free, then sure, there is a plethora. Don't work for free. You don't need to. Okay. Have you stopped acting, Matt? And if so, how come? I stopped in my 20s. I was working for lots of different acting organizations. I think my last part was a small cameo on Emmerdale, which is a kind of a soap in Yorkshire. And then I was doing lots and lots of different things. I decided, do you know what? Coaching is better for me, my lifestyle. It's my focus. I enjoy it. I was literally working with so many different organizations, coaching, and everybody was like, I just realized that it was absolutely my passion. And then I developed all my own acting kind of techniques, skills, added certain aspects of marketing and branding and all of that. And it just literally became, it just might have been my absolute passion since my 20s. And I'm 40 now. I know I don't look it, but thank you very much. All right. So I'm going to leave it there. And what I'm going to say is thank you so much for joining in. You've kind of got a flavor for this whole different view, this whole different way of doing things. And believe me, that is what my organization, MZA, Matt's Interacting, is all about. We think differently. We think with abundance. My actors work, all right, as well as the agents that we've got attached, okay, that gets some amazing opportunities and some amazing roles. But we don't just allow people to just sit by the phone. They have acting businesses where they literally earn money from doing what they love. And that's how actors should act and operate. Right, I've got to leave it there. I really, really have. Okay, have an amazing one. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you get in touch